Hi, everyone. This is Tanisha Molden. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining later or watching later, just say hello in the comments. I am so happy to be here with this conversation. We are doing Saturday lives just to be a casual conversation about, to be honest, things that I like to talk about, but also things that I talk about with my business bestie. So I thought this was be a perfect opportunity to keep it casual. This is not meant to be. This is not a presentation whatsoever. We do have a topic in mind, random to repeatable, but you never know where the topic or the conversation will go with our business bestie that is joining us today, who is Melissa McClary Davis. And I will actually get into more about our guest today. I have her bio in front of me, but let me introduce myself if you don't know who I am. My name is Tanisha Molden. I'm an attorney here in Detroit area, and I specialize in working with small to medium-sized businesses on their intellectual property and brand strategy. In my pretty much my slogan, if you want to say my it is my slogan. I help you build your business, protect your brand, and own everything. It really is about ownership and getting clarity on building your business. And today we're going to be talking about really the thing that I love to talk about: systems, visibility, marketing, branding. Maybe throw in some IP in there, but we have one of my favorite people with me today. I'm going to bring her to the stage, Melissa. I'm going to edit it. There she is.
Hello.
And if,
Hello.
and if you're here live, I want to make sure that they can hear us. Just say hello in the, if you're here live. I want to make sure, I think I might have to open my, um, if we're streaming, we should be streaming to YouTube. So if they're watching on YouTube, they should be able to
Oh,
comment and say something.
that'll be
But
good.
let me double check that we are streaming.
It's a YouTube channel again. Um,
I don't see it streaming.
I think sometimes there's a little bit of a delay on YouTube.
It says that I'm there. Oh, okay. So if I go to, oh man, I don't know how to fix it. But hopefully we can have the recording, because typically if you go to YouTube, you should be able to see it streaming like in time, right?
Yeah, there's usually a delay here. I'm a
Okay.
Yeah. There's usually a delay with YouTube. I'm actually let me go and I'm actually streaming. I'll stream on YouTube, but unfortunately it's just little me. They can hear you, but they can't.
Okay, no worries. But so I am at live. I can't see switch accounts. You know what? I might have been on the wrong
Account.
page. But let's double check. I'm
You
there.
Yeah, could put it yeah, and put it in the chat like your YouTube channel. I'll put mine too. So that way um
Yep, I'm
can
grabbing. Let me go to my channel. View my channel, and I'll put it into the chat. That is the channel it should be on. But you know what? User error, that might be the case. We'll have this if it's not running live, we will upload it later.
Mhm.
No worries.
There you go.
Um, that we always we will make it happen. So back to what was I saying? One of my favorite people, Melissa McClary Davis. I have Melissa's bio. You want me to read the whole thing? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Melissa McCary Davis is a
I have
sought
to.
after, huh?
You don't have to read the whole thing, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, sought after. No, this is true. Melissa McCary Davis, founder and CEO of Wise Digital Marketing. She is a sought after fractional CMO, that is Chief Marketing Officer, and the visionary behind Wise Digital Marketing, Detroit-based agency dedicated to helping small to mid-market businesses grow with confidence and clarity. So I'm gonna go down to who she's worked with and the organizations. Goldman Sachs, Detroit Startup, TechCrowd, Core. So many National Entrepreneurs Association, uh, and Molden Law, Molden Agency.
My
So
favorites.
and yes, throw in the Moldens there. My she's supported us in our growth too. And so I just kind of wanted to, share that and say I talked to Melissa almost. We are truly business besties because I talk to Melissa like almost every other day, maybe
Yeah, just about.
just just about every other day, where I just call and say, "How's it going? Let me run this by you." Usually that's the conversation. Let me run this by you. I was thinking I would do. What do you think? Because
Yeah,
I value her input, especially with the.
same here.
Say that again.
I said same here. Everybody should get input from somebody that they trust and respect in terms of their business. And so I do the same with you. Take a look at this page. What do you think? Everybody needs to have that.
Yeah, we do. And I think we give honest feedback back and forth. So especially if I think we both understand what our growth goals are. So when we come to that conversation, we can say, okay, does that really align with what you're trying to do?
Yep.
Or because sometimes, that little shiny thing, the little shiny thing comes in front of us. Look at that.
Distractions are
Ooh,
real. You gotta watch the distractions.
look at that pretty butterfly. I'm like, oh. Okay, so today's conversation is from random to repeatable, building a visibility system you can actually maintain. And I think, as we were coming to, we said we were going to have this conversation today. And then we had, conversation, what should we talk about? One of the things that we were finding between the two of us that we constantly have conversations around with our clients is visibility, but also maintaining their cadence with uh, systems, or even having a system. So I think I always like to start off like, bring the reality of it where they are now. So Melissa, I think I want to start with like, where do you see people stuck um in their planning, or they're being consistent? Where do you see your clients being stuck?
I think I think the big thing that people are stuck with is understanding how visibility is not a one and done. People think that, okay, if I do this big flash moment, if I had this event, then everybody would keep coming and calling, and that's not the case. So that's where people are stuck, to understand that it has to be repeatable, and and you have to invest in it. And that's another thing that I see in some clients who don't want to invest in visibility. And for those out there, especially for those marketing folks out there, and visibility is awareness. How to make sure that people know you exist. So I think that's the big thing I see.
Yeah, I am sorry. I'm looking at my oh, it says we're live. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I had it on unlisted. Let's make it public. Let's see if that worked.
That may work.
That may- uh, people people do not, it's always user error. So let me refresh. I just want to double check that I had it. Um,
Yeah, user error, and then also people who unfortunately are a thief of perfection. Y'all out here watching this or listening to
we're there,
this.
we're there. Okay, so it's there now. Did you hear? Let me
Yeah.
close out of there. So, yep, Sue said user error.
I'm just saying that people strive for perfection and then they just don't do anything. And this is a clear example of that. Put it out there, y'all. It's not about perfection.
Okay.
It's not
Oh,
about.
yeah. So I literally just was I literally was the example of how long have I been doing this, and I still forgot to turn on I had the video, the live listed as unlisted instead of public. So that's why I couldn't see it. I'm like, what? Because there's some strategy. There's a reason why I list some videos unlisted. Ask me about it later. But this one should have been public. And I think what Melissa is saying is that there was a point in time that I would have been so caught up and distraught off of
Mhm.
that little mistake that I would have probably never did alive again. Or it would have been a year from now. But now, no, I just fixed it and we will keep moving forward. The live is showing. I forgot to do that user error, or you can call it Tanisha error. Believe me, it's every day, especially with the technology, but you just keep moving forward. You just learn from it and just keep moving. The point is that we keep doing it. So I think I was asking a question, about really where people get stuck. And I think if I had to say where people get stuck is I think sometimes they make things more complicated
Mhm.
than what they need to be.
Yep.
All of us do. So one of the questions that I always ask myself is even when I think it's simple, or I know to ask myself this question when I have not taken the action. So when I have not taken the action, I ask myself this question: how can I make this easier? How can I make this easier for myself? What steps in this process can I just take out? Or what is the first step? Just do the first step.
Yep.
Because if I'm making it hard for myself, that means my brain is thinking about all 25 steps and trying to execute on all 25 steps instead of just focus on that one thing, that one action that we can take. And sometimes you don't even, and I think sometimes what holds me up too, and it's may, if others can relate to this, is that you don't know what the other steps are.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, and that stops you from taking action because you think you have to know what the steps are.
And I think as entrepreneurs, as business owners, you're in your head so much that you know what, yeah, you figure out, maybe you got steps 1 and 2 figured out. You'll figure out 3 when it's time to get there.
Yeah, what I think action brings clarity. I'm gonna put that action brings clarity. I'm gonna put that as a better, yeah, I like that. Action brings clarity. We're gonna scroll. Exclamation point. Um, let's see. Let's see. Show.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so action, by taking the action, and sometimes that will start to bring your what is it, the consistency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely
because
brings consistency.
because I think with the I just want it's the consistency part. I think I want to stay on that because the people want visibility, but then they may start and stop too quickly to get to see results, or they don't see the results that they are hoping for, or maybe unrealistic. So for example, um, I started a new LinkedIn visibility system. Ask me about it. I'm happy to share it. But in that, starting that, I was able to increase my following double the average over the 28 days. Uh, so the consistency part is, and also the realistic part is understanding that now that I have that, what do I really want to get from it? The goal, what's the goal of it?
Yep.
Well, we can turn that off. And so I actually put numbers to it, like how many engagements or calls that I should get from it, or even clients. But you have to give it time to actually, I don't know, what's the word, activate, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. You have to get it time to really get, well, one, just to get the data. It's some of it's just basic um, engineering and metrics. It's like in order for when it comes to algorithms across all these platforms, the algorithm behaves when they get inputs. The inputs the data. And so the algorithm will behave, and it's supposed to behave in your favor if it has data. Now, it behaves in your favor, but then there's also the business goals of the platform. to share and show. So the algorithm will be better and find people who are interested in your information. Then the platform will have more people who want to come over because they're happy to be there. So that's where the favorite comes in. And that comes with data. And so being out there, being consistent and just doing it over and over again, the system needs data to be able to figure things out.
So you're saying, so the consistency is your
It's the
input.
data. Yep, it's the input.
Okay, so so input and then you get the data. So when and I'm just linking these together because when I think about what, when I work with entrepreneurs through my framework, one of the things that is key to doing the work is that focusing on what we can control, which are the inputs.
Yep, exactly. You control what you can control. And yeah, we can't control these algorithms. We can't control like the visibility that we get organically. And I mean that like from social. So I'm not talking about paid, but organic visibility. We can't control it, but we can definitely manage and point it in the right direction, with this data. Consistency is the first thing that helps point it in the right direction. And then it's obviously the message, the intent. What are you saying? You got to be intentional because it has to be something that you just have to put yourself in the shoes of your audience. What do they want? What do they need? And just making sure that you're providing them that content, that information that they need. The algorithm is supposed to work like that and work to help you with it. And if you do it right, the algorithm will reward you. And if you do it wrong, the algorithm will suppress you. The algorithm will. And that's just the way it is with most of these platforms. There's certain platforms that are better than others. I'm going to point out TikTok because, TikTok's not going away. I guess they thought it was, but it's not going away after all, right? The reason why the United States really wanted to gravitate and get on TikTok because it has the purest algorithm. Because
what does that mean? What does that mean, Melissa? I don't.
It means that when you are on TikTok and you like something and you follow something, you'll see more of that. That's basically it. And then it'll know based on all the likes and all the data that you've given it to share something. Well, if you like that, you probably will like this too. It'll do that for you. That's supposed to be the algorithm. That's when people say like, oh yeah, this came up in my timeline and it's great because this is what I love. It does it the purest way. And that's why it's so addictive. And people are like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing everything that I like. And then you could talk to people who are using TikTok and they never see anything that you like. And you're asking yourself, what do you mean? It's been all over my TikTok. Because it's your algorithm is so toned to you. TikTok does it the most because being that it's a foreign base, it's not looking to it's definitely looking for you to be there and live there. But from a profitability standpoint, it's not like some of the other platforms which are looking to profit in a way where it's the business goals of the advertisers. So it's not pushing that, okay, you need to buy this toaster just because the advertiser paid for you to look at it as much as the other ones are. And that's what people love about TikTok and that algorithm.
I have to be completely transparent about TikTok. I deleted my TikTok app. I deleted because it was becoming a problem.
Yeah,
and whatever they were doing, they're doing it right because I could not get off. And I'm like, this is a problem. I deleted the app because I was not creating anything. I was consuming, consuming. Now I learned some great cleaning hacks.
Yeah.
I still use to this day. I probably could go back on and find some more organizing things off of TikTok, but it was I don't know how the time would go. But you have to look at these things soon as you break the hold they have on you, like delete the app, then figure out why. How can you use it for to support your goals?
Yep.
How do you use it to support your goals? I recently had someone tell me that I should be on TikTok. I should get on TikTok. I'm good at videos or whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared.
You know what? It is addictive, and I think we all can kind of try to break some of that addiction. But yeah, it is an interesting platform. Look, my son just told me last night. He's 22. He deleted TikTok as well. He no longer has any social media on his phone. Now he's like a 22-year-old militant. He's like, I don't want to be coerced by any type of algorithm. Is his whole approach. But your people are there. That's the thing. For visibility, you got to go where your people are. And if your people are there, I mean your audience, your customers, the people who you will want to spend money with you, then I always believe that, go where they are. But if you can't handle so many platforms, please stick with the ones stick with one or two, because your people are there. People are on Instagram and Facebook. You don't need to be everywhere, but you just need to be aware and just make sure that platform is you're feeding it enough information and you're getting what you want out of it. Visibility wants to equal income. So you're getting what you want from that. You're getting your customers, you're getting your leads, you're getting things from that, and manage and to me, manage and harvest and perfect that one. But before adding others. But yeah, I know I look at TikTok. I love, I consume it a lot too much as well. But I'm looking at it also from a creative standpoint, like an agency, like looking at different way people are promoting their products. But you can't help but go down these rabbit holes. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that what you're saying, what I hear, like these platforms, they make it easy for the repeatable part. Let me put that back up. The repeatable part, that the random is what we're trying to think about, but they make it easy to be repeatable, because they'll keep showing your stuff for you. So now what we, get to is, how do we, get the clarity that we need, or then, how do we, I guess, go from, I'm trying to think of how to word it. Um, so, if it's repeatable, how the next step for them would be, I guess, the data or a system. How do we get to, now that we got it's repeating itself, and maybe now that you posted a couple of times, how do you now get this to be more, I guess, visual, or make it repeatable? Because now we're talking about a system. So now you were doing things random. Now you see you got some tractions. People are actually liking and watching. So how do you now make it a repeatable system? Or how do you recommend your clients do that?
Well, first, in terms of making it repeatable, we got it going, right, and they kind of like what they're doing, and they're seeing the results. Then it's just a matter of, all right, can we find some things that you're doing repetitively that we can become more efficient with? So we look for like efficiency. It's working for you, and then you did this before. Is it repetitive? So try to like step it out. Try to see like what are the things that you're doing that's repetitive, and then how can we make that efficient? Or a simple, an easier way would be like, okay, we got it. What do you like or hate about it? And all right, why do you hate this part? Okay, it's repetitive. You got to keep doing over and over again. Okay, what can we do to kind of make this easier for you to do it? I have to ask them that question, because for me, I don't know if it's a curse of expertise, but there are certain things that I don't like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to the recipe. Give me step 1 to 5. I'll jump around. Help me save some steps. I'm always been that way. Help me save some steps. I do not want to go through everything. Is there a way of doing it? Do I need to go and churn the butter? Okay, I can buy the butter. Help me save some steps. So like in a recipe, I think that's what we kind of help, is trying to make those steps repeatable, by making it easier for you. And being, a marketing digital gal, through digital means, there are ways of now making it repeatable. Through technology, you can kind of take your hands off where it's going to be done, and you don't have to do it yourself. And I love that.
I love the repeatable part. I think sometimes what I feel like, when you say they don't have to do it themselves, I would slightly say that, yeah, I think they have to do it themselves because they have to put, I'm all about the branding. So how can they need to put a piece of themselves to make this authentic. So it's kind of like, so if we were to do an example, say they did a post, a couple of, let's say three, and one of them is getting some attention and some traction. Well, I would come back and say, now that you're getting traction, who are you attracting? And do we need sometimes the first part of consistency is just getting comfortable with being seen.
Yeah.
So we're going to say that you're past that part. If you're not past that part, then but you got to be seen, be heard. And now that people are paying attention, making sure that what you're saying is attracting the right audience. And I'm sorry, you were about to say something?
Well, yes, but whatever you put out, you should be attracting the right audience before you even put out. You should know. Now,
well,
the algorithms may like show you some folks like, oh, I didn't know that person, but you should know.
Yes, and if you don't know, that's why you come to professionals. That's part of my framework. That's the first thing. One of the first things the modern offer, or the course that I offer, is about getting clarity on what you're saying before you say it's. And the point is, like you said, to have the recipe.
Yeah.
To save time, so you can just go out there and say what you need to say and attract the right audience. But also, if you're not doing anything, posting something will start to build that muscle.
That's very true.
Because it will. I know, especially when it's first getting started, if you're not out there all the time, it is something to be seen, and also to hear your own voice. That took me a minute to listen to my videos over. Now I just go in and I can listen to them. I can go in and edit things. I listen to myself or someone else record. I can go in and listen to it without like, oh my gosh, is that how I sound?
Oh, girl, you're not telling no lie. Yes. Listen to yourself. Because every time, sometimes I would listen to myself. And if I don't see my visual, I'm like, is that my sister Dawn? What does she say? Because that sounds like my sister. Oh, that's me.
Oh.
I'm like, but yeah, you have to get comfortable. And I know a lot of people are not comfortable in front of their, on camera. They're not. And that only could come with consistency and just doing it over and over and over again. And just being authentic and just living with your imperfections and understanding.
Yes, this is true. And I'm also reading a book right now called Alter Ego. And oh gosh, I can't remember the author's name, but I can find it and put it in the community later. But one of the things that I didn't know, I've done this for years. But I started reading this book and realized he has a systematic way of actually engaging us. But this alter ego helps show up in times of impact, where he says moments of impact.
Yep.
This is a moment, like if you find that Tanisha, we'll talk about Tanisha in the third person, Tanisha is not showing up, then you need the alter ego to now show up and record this video. How would this happen? How would you like to perform now? And yes, it is. Is it a performance? Yes. But other people don't necessarily know that, but only you know that. But it will bring out that part of you that's needed for that moment in time to get this done.
Yes. And to me, the greatest alter ego that we all know, and if you don't know it, I don't understand how people don't know this, is Beyonce and Sasha Fierce.
Oh,
we know. Yeah. We know Beyonce because, Beyonce, when she's in interviews and stuff, totally different person. When Sasha Fierce is on the stage, she shows up, very different. And I always tell people, find your inner Beyonce, find your Sasha Fierce, because you need to have that alter ego when you are. And this goes out to people who consider them shy, introverted, but, introvert people do well on camera. There's more introvert people do well in YouTube on camera because they're just talking to a camera. They're more comfortable with that than ever. But your extroverts, especially like during the pandemic, you have nobody to talk to. Just put a picture of a person in front on your camera. and just talk to that one person. Have that conversation. Do it over and over again until you still feel so comfortable with it that and then you start to develop these alter egos, and then pretty soon the alter ego is so aligned with you so much it just comes across as authenticity.
All right. So there was one. So if I had to recap that, having alter ego, and there's a book on that I'll share later. But also one of the tips that you just gave was, you said for the extroverts or the introverts, the
Extrovert.
picture.
Yeah, a picture. Or like, I guess I'm an extrovert. So doing Zooms, I'm good. I see you. So I see other people, so I can vibe with that, you know, and that's fine. I know folks who are introverted are people who get their energy in solo places. That's the definition of introversion. So the camera is not a person, so they can get their energy in their room and things like that, and that's why they do really well on YouTube. Extroverts, we like to be out.
You said the introverts do well.
Introverts
Okay. Because I am an introvert with extrovert tendencies. So
do well talking to a camera because it's not a person. You're in your
right.
space, you're in your room, and you can build energy off of that.
I do.
I believe more so than extroverts who need to be around people to do it. Right? We can't have all these people in a room. I mean, there are obviously great extrovert folks out there who have YouTube channels or things like that. But I'm just saying, it's just the nature of the technology. You got to talk to a camera, you got to talk to a phone, and you have to feel comfortable doing that. And that can only come through the consistency of doing it over and over again. I know because I remember you've been very consistent because you go live a lot on your Instagram.
I haven't gone live late. This is the first, it is the third day of the year. So this is our first live this year. So my goal this year, y'all better keep me accountable, because my goal is to do these lives at least every month, if not more. I do find, for me, why I go live, because, and that's the consistency part. I go live because I'll overthink it.
Yep. Same here.
So I'll go live because that stops me from scripting. It stops me from outlining. It stops me from thinking, oh, what am I going to talk about? Well, what do people think? No, we're just going to go live, and what I'll do is I'll make myself have 1 to 3 points only, like bullet points.
Yep.
And go live. And that's what I talk about. And I was thinking about, and that's how the live starts. I was thinking, so I'm here. It probably should be more structured, but also the lives for me is my opportunity for if we want to go back to the alter ego, sometimes the lives is an opportunity for Tanisha to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Because my alter ego shows up at other times when I'm doing business, when I'm in meetings, when I have to show up in court. I have to do court. Yeah, I'm an attorney, so I don't do court for other countries. We only do court for Molden. Ask me about it, or very close friends. I do not do litigation, but for my alter ego shows up. My moments of impact are when I have to actually do business activities, sometimes business development activities, because I just want Tanisha is really more introverted, and I just want to sit back on my day bed back here and read a book. I have, you should see, I have stacks of books. So that's all I want to do. So, but if Tanisha, do that all the time, we wouldn't be having this live right now.
Yeah.
So my alter ego set this up and set up the next one. I already have people set up for the next couple of months, set that up for me because they know Tanisha wants to sit on the bed. So my alter ego set it up. So it works. Try it, guys. Try it. I'm going to find the name of that book and share it in the community. But I think that might be a challenge for February.
It's great because it goes to the title of what we're talking about, the very end of it, what you can actually maintain, right? And it's all about you're doing a live because the script is writing and all that. Oh my gosh, it's just too much. You feel overwhelmed with it. And I know you have coaches and consultants and people out there who may have told you, yes, do it like this, go live. Here's a script, create the script using these tools and AI and da 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 da. You can do that, but just get out there and just go live and just be authentic with it. Talk about, as you should be doing with any business that you have, you're the expert. So the expertise, just talk about things. In December, I gave like a list of 3 things that I said people need to do before the end of December to make January better. One of them was like how to create content for January, in less than 15 minutes. And that content that I told them to create was like, come up with on your phone using a voice note application, answer 10 questions that you get from your customers all the time about your product or your service or your business. It could be questions about size, it could be questions about how to use it, things like that. Answer, just voice it into your phone. Answers to 10 questions, and keep those answers to 2 minutes, 90 seconds or less. Then from there, you can take that and you create content around that. You throw that into to these great technology through AI and some things like that, and you can have AI create me social posts around answering these questions. And boom, you answer 10 questions, you have 10 posts, you have 10 audio that you can get audio clips from, you can do some video if you want to from that, and you basically just filled up your January calendar with content just by doing it easily. And I tell people to do things that are just very simple for them, so that way they don't feel so overwhelmed, and feel like, oh, this is such a job, to do it. Well, it's just make it easy.
And I think that is a, great idea. I also add on what I've been doing and what I'm doing through my LinkedIn visibility system is once a month doing that. I do have my tiers on what I would like to post. I actually have been posting less in LinkedIn, but getting more, what is it, impressions?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Talk about that. Yeah. How is that possible?
How is that? She said, how is that possible?
Really, for people to know, like, what are you doing?
I really think it's the content. So I have to pull up. So I am posting, look, I have to find it now. 4 different types of content in my LinkedIn. And that is, the contrarian view. You know what that a contrarian view. I have to find it. My LinkedIn because now I can't see. So the contrarian view. Oh, give me a second. I don't. Now you put me on the spot. Now I gotta find it.
On the spot. But you did hit it on the head in terms of like you're being very intentional with the content and the message.
Okay. Yep. So contrarian, behind the scenes, I do relationship building. I do an industry one and a framework. So what I found is the contrarian is just to stop the scroll and kind of be controversial, whatever. But I also found that all these I was not doing. I probably was doing more the relationship one in the past. And that's not the point of LinkedIn is to provide thought leadership. And I was not doing that effectively. Let's put it that way. So I post 3 to 4 times a week. And I alternate. 1 week I'll do 3 posts, next week 4 posts, and I've only added in that relationship one. So remember, I was doing relationship like every post. Now I'm only doing relationship posts twice a month. And the rest are contrarian, more behind the scenes, industry news, my framework. And actually what I found, Melissa, that is very helpful to me by doing it this way, because what helps me is I'm a geek. Like I said, I have all these books around me. I'm constantly reading up on industry things. I'm constantly like staying up to date on intellectual property. I got legal over here. I got business stuff over here, things I'm learning. this gives me, because this is structured, I've sat down, I've written all my posts for the month, they're done. Now I'm taking the rest of the month gathering data and information that I not only improves me as a business owner, giving me opportunities to sit through workshops and read things. I read it because you didn't have to, kind of things,
Yeah,
for people. That fills me up because I am a learner. So now I have opportunities to do that, but now I've given myself the platform with these posts to share that. But being very strategic about sharing things that will provide value to the audience that I want to support in through my business services.
that's correct. Correct. I mean, because you love marketing like I love marketing. That's why we talk all the time, But would you believe there's folks in the world who just do not like marketing? It just wounds me every time I hear that. But that's what we do. I mean, we need to provide them information so they don't have to look for it, or they could just find something that they can latch onto and then try to make their world fine. I mean, marketing, there's 1,001 ways to do your marketing for your business, to increase visibility in your business. I tell people that all the time. And guess what? It changes every day. With technology, it changes every day. Yes, I am an expert, in marketing. I got my degrees in marketing, things like that. But really, I'm just an expert in pivoting. I tell people,
Oh, yay! I love that. I'm
I'm
gonna
an
put
expert.
that.
The marketing, the foundation, yes, is still there. Your 4 P's of marketing. All my marketing geeks out there know that. But for the most part, you have to stay on top of these things. But you got to run a business. You're wearing all the hats. You can't do it all. You shouldn't do it all. And if you're doing it all, you'll never succeed. I mean, look at your best brands out there. They may start small, but then they have a huge teams around them. So you have to know, your strengths, and then know when to go and seek services like Tanisha, and her services out there. And understand that, okay, I'm not meant to do it all. So that's where the investment comes in, understanding and to invest with people who one have the wherewithal, the experience, and the knowledge to help move you ahead based on your goals.
Yeah, I think, what I find helpful, or what I've seen in other people and also myself, is that when I see that I have a goal and I'm not necessarily reaching that goal, I've given myself the opportunity to move forward, and I don't see any um, tangible movement, or that I'm actually doing something, then I know I need help.
Yep. Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, okay, those 3 things I mentioned, what I told people to do in December. Okay, I mentioned how they need to answer 10 questions for content. Another thing I told them to do is like go back and look at your last year, look at your top 5 content pieces that got the most engagement or the best performance of 2025. Just look at those top 5 pieces. If you could pull that information out, you can go to LinkedIn and look at the analytics. You can go to any platform and kind of pull the analytics and see and they'll give you the list of what your top 5 posts are. And then look at those posts. And I would do this, you can analyze them. I like to analyze them because I'm geeky like that too. You could take those 5 posts and you can even throw it into ChatGPT and ask them, what makes these posts different? What is the pattern that you see in these 5 posts that could bring me success? What did I do in these posts that based on all the other ones I did that were successful? And you're going to get a list. You're going to find out what that is. And then all you have to do is just repeat those things. And you're going to see this.
Yes.
Just repeat like what those posts did. I did that last year, and I found on LinkedIn some of the posts that I did, the ones where I went live, the ones where I had faces and humans in.
Right. Oh my gosh. And us as introverts, I don't know if you feel like I feel like, really, do I have to put my picture on every single post for this? Seriously, look, I have words that mean something. Not
Yes.
You should see my top four. I saw, and believe me, guys, when you see posts with my picture, it's not because I'm trying to be vain. I'm just trying to get LinkedIn and Facebook to show the words I'm hoping that people will get past that, actually read what I wrote. But otherwise, I wouldn't put any pictures if that was the case.
Yeah, exactly. So, we talked about a little bit about, random and how we can make it repeatable. You know, do you want to talk, I don't know, from a timing standpoint, do you want to talk about like the
I think
systems, how to make it?
Yeah, I do. I think I wanted to add on about the top performing. You had the top
Mhm.
performing posts, and I love the fact that you said to take those and review them. But also, I would say also take the ones that were look at review the ones that were not top performing and
Sure.
change the hook or put a different system. So I have a certain method on how and what I'll be training on about the LinkedIn visibility. Not only I have a certain type of post, but there's a framework that I use on the structure of the post. And if you look at my post on LinkedIn and you look at you will kind of see, oh, they're kind of structured the same, or how she organizes the post. So not only that, go back to the ones that were not that you would consider, or the platform didn't consider or didn't push out. Take those, repurpose them, regurgitate a new hook, a new framework, add on some things. Now that if you've gotten clear about who your audience is, you might want to just adjust it for that and repost it, put a different picture with it. Do two of them, put two different pictures, one with your picture and one without. And you will quickly see we're going to put money on that. It's going to push out the one with your face on it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't, because one of my best performing posts over my experiment the past in December for LinkedIn was the framework, my
Hmm.
framework post.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, for sure. Look at the worst posts that you did in the year. And find out why they were that bad, why they were bad, and then ask what can you do to improve them. Yeah, it is good to look at both sides of it. And then also understand too, there are ways the algorithm is can be a fickle mistress. It will have one post, you have no idea why is this doing really well. It's the exact same thing I said in January and that did horrible. You're going to get those aspects of it, but that's just the nature of um, marketing in this digital world and getting out there. It ebbs and flows. It's going to come when it needs to come, and then other days it just may fall flat. That's just the way it is. And but if you could like put in all the right inputs and get as much information as you can before it goes out, make sure that's intentional, being consistent with it, saying a great message, making sure you have a good call to action, giving people like to get back to you. That's what's going to, and be consistent with it, then that's going to help the most.
And I think having that, doing that helps you stay out of your head, because you have a system, you maintain your system.
Yep.
Don't get out of your maintain your cadence and your system. You develop a system that is unique to you. And if you don't have one unique to you, me and Melissa both have communities that help you with that. So Melissa, you want to share, like I think I shared in the chat your community, but can you share more about your the marketing hub? Am I
Sure.
saying
Yeah. I call my community marketing therapy lab.
that?
One, marketing therapy because all of us who are marketers, we need to sit on a couch because things change all the time. So there's a little bit of that. But also because I do know it's very hard for some people to wrap their arms around all the things they need to do in marketing, and they just need a little bit of help. So it's a community for small business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, anyone who just needs a little bit of help with their marketing. And I have a methodology that I use called the SPACER method, and SPACER is an acronym: sales, PR, advertising, content, on email, and reporting, which is like data. And it kind of folds into that. It's a community. I'm keeping it very small. It's free. It's a free community for the first 100 people. I think I have about 25 more spots left, for free. And then I don't know if I'll charge. If I do charge, it's not going to be much. But I want to keep it intentional and small because I really would love to work with with people. And these are people who may not be able to afford my agency rates, but just need help. I have office hours in there. I do demos every month. There's a theme. This month's theme is around um, just to take clarity and organization of your marketing messaging. So that's sort of like the theme that we're going. And we're doing a challenge starting next week. we did a challenge in July, and it's like how to get clients now. And this is like part 2 of how to get your clients, how to get people to create that consistency of a pipeline of clients that come into your clients or customers that come to your business. So feel free to join. The link is the link is in the chat. I think links probably will be in the description, on YouTube or on any of the social posts once this hits. So yeah, join while you can.
I am a member. I get the updates all the time. And then to share my group, I also have a free group, the Intentional Wealth Project. And the intention of the Intentional Wealth Project is to remain free. And in that community, we talk about all things regarding the intention of building a business. So maybe if I explain the why I named it that, this will help why this came about. So I believe that to the businesses is a way for us to build wealth. But I also think for us to build that wealth, we have to be very intentional about it and developing a structure around. And I believe in having projects, and hence why this conversation is being had. So Intentional Wealth Project is a community where we're coming together to talk about what are our intentions on how we're going to generate wealth through business. In providing resources like this, I like to share, my resources in books. There are courses, and it also leads into giving access to, you have more access to me and access to my services, the legal services and the business education and coaching services that we offer. So the next step up from that would be either a one-on-one with me, or what I would recommend if you're just starting off would probably be my Modern Offer course. And in the Modern Offer course, we talk about how to get clear on your messaging. And at the same time, while you're developing that messaging, you're developing your intellectual property, which is an asset to build wealth. And so it all comes back full circle. But that is one of the things I don't think I put in the chat, my link to my community. Let me grab it.
I don't see it in the chat.
I did not. I'll just put it in the I don't know if it'll work, but we'll do all the things. So I think I have any final words, Melissa, or anything? I think we had a great conversation. You've definitely brought some things up for me, as usual.
Yeah, you know what? I think maybe we could leave with, maybe there's like some of the tools, especially when it comes to systems, how to create a system. And you don't need to have tools to create a system. I want to make that clear. You just need to be consistent. I think that's the biggest tool. That's the fuel of any system, is consistency. But maybe there's some things that we can kind of leave with folks. What are some great ways to be consistent with what tools that I think that people can utilize?
So I think, first thing I would say is, if you are not doing anything, pick one platform. It doesn't matter what platform, because if you're not doing anything right now, I would probably guess that you probably haven't built that muscle for showing up. So pick the platform, pick your mode of showing up, which is whether it's a written post, it could be a live, it can be pictures. It doesn't matter. Pick that mode and post. So if you're doing nothing, once a week is 100% improvement.
Yeah.
Just think about it that way. You just made 100% improvement, and then the next week maybe add on. It's kind of like, so I consider I probably am more advanced where I'm posting more. So my next steps are, because I also, like I said, I also have a business coach, and one of the things what my coach said we're adding on is, now that I've done the post, I'm going to take advantage of the other tools available on LinkedIn, the articles, the newsletter. I'll probably be doing more lives, but I haven't done all those things at once.
Yep.
So I picked one thing, and that's posting. And I looked at what was happening. I adjusted my posts and experiment with those. So now that that's working, I'm getting double the reach. and also the followers than the average LinkedIn user, I'm good with that. I got 5.9% versus 1 to 2% that on the average. So we're going to stick with what I'm doing. And now we get the add on. So that's how you kind of look at how to utilize these platforms, as what Melissa said, as a tool. Don't let it use you. You use it.
Yeah. I think like I said, so the biggest tool you have is your phone, right? Because you can take it everywhere. You have it all the time. And then of course you have access to the platforms. Visibility means you got to get out there. You got to raise your shingle. People got to know you exist. And the cheapest way people know you exist, especially if you are tight with money and budget, you don't have a budget, is these social platforms. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't stand social. I get it. I understand. That's why I'm here. That's why I do social for clients, because they don't want to do it themselves. But if you're in a position where you cannot afford that yet, then like what Tanisha says, you just get out there. And if you do it once a week, that's 100% of before you did it. If you could organize your time and batch some things, meaning that you can set aside at the beginning of the month 2 hours to create 10 voice notes. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours, not 10 minutes. Then you utilize that as your leverage. I myself, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm a shoemaker's children. My own social. People say, I see you there all the time. I'm like, okay, if you see that, I'm doing it. Yes, I have a team that does some things and post on my behalf. But if it's just you and little old you and your business, stick with one platform that Denisha's doing LinkedIn, and she's going to ride that and keep and work on all the other elements to optimize her LinkedIn. I tell people to just do that all the time. Figure out one platform and then branch out from there. My main platform that I put a lot of my content, especially that's not in my community, is on YouTube and then LinkedIn. I kind of do the combo with those, but I start with YouTube. Why? Because I'm like you, because I need consistency, and that gives me consistency because you have to be out there all the time, not every day, but just be consistent with once a week out there. And then I take that content and I'm going to break it down and I'm going to utilize it for at least a good 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then repeat that and come back to it in 90 days. So,
and then the 90-day. Yeah. Right. Repurpose is a thing. Repurpose everything. Repurpose everything. So I share Melissa's LinkedIn, and let me share mine in the comments. Link, connect with us. That is my oops, did I do it? I don't think it did it.
I think I see you in the comments.
Oh, that's I put in the comment. Okay, there we go. Okay, I did it wrong. So I'm trying to play with the stuff on this StreamYard because they did new things. Here it is. There it is. Yay, because that makes it bigger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
So I'm Tanisha Molden. I share yours. But no, this was a good conversation. I think it definitely gave me some ideas. You guys, I'm going to be talking with Melissa about doing something else based upon this conversation. She doesn't know it yet, but she got oink, oink, that I already have an idea for what to happen next. So tell me if you would be interested, not you, Melissa, the audience, because I'm going to convince Melissa to do a workshop in regards to those top performing posts. And how we evaluate those and repurpose those. I think that would be a great opportunity for people to learn how to take their content and move it to the next level. So if you guys are interested in something like that, let us know while I'll convince Melissa to do so. And we go from there. But I want to say thank you, my business bestie, Melissa.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. I always have fun talking to you. I mean, yes. Camera or no camera on.
Yeah, you guys got to see what it's like to have this is like how we really talk and have conversations about business, and when we're going through things or making decisions. I did not do the LinkedIn visibility. After I got my results for my LinkedIn, I took it back to Melissa and shared it with her and said, this is what's happening. Should I continue to do this? Is this right? And she gave the go. and we're going to push it forward. So we're going to end here. Have a great rest of your day and thank you for joining my Saturday live, and look forward to hosting another one next month. All right. Bye.
Bye.